Welcome back, everybody. After a very, very long time, we thought we will change our concussion sub series, but looks like concussion will never go away. David Warner's concussion, which meant Matthew Renshaw, is back in Australia Day. But day two of Border Gavaskar series, after a very one sided first test match, Sanjay, the second test match is brewing out to be an absolutely fantastic game. Today, this day two, even though the pitch played hard, Australia were on top. Then India came back. Now Australia are back on the attack. So, firstly, welcome back. How are you doing, and what do you think will be the result of the second Test match in this Border Gavaskar Trophy?
I'm good, Suman. Good to see you back. Yeah, we've been on and off. You've been traveling. You're in Australia, so you're probably supporting Australia for this match. Then you come back to US and then start supporting India again. But yes, absolutely fascinating days. In fact, the last couple of days has been phenomenal from a Test cricket perspective. Australia scored 260 odd. They were in a similar position, 168 for six. Then good fight back. Hanscom got 80 odd runs. 260 is a very good score, especially after today's day's play, where India was 139 for seven, and then 100 in partnership between Axar Patel and Ashwin. The lower order batters have bailed us out so many times, but then the last 40, 35, 40 minutes play, where Australia played 12 overs, they got 60 runs. I think this is nicely poised to be one of those classic matches which will go down in history. So I'm hoping that Australia can bat another couple of sessions and then see what India can offer. We don't want another one-sided game. So I think it's pretty much in the balance. I'd probably say Australia slightly ahead, considering India has to bat number four, and we saw even with a very small total in Bangladesh where we had to chase, it was Shreyas Iyer and Ashwin who got us out of that game. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens Sunday morning.
And what do you think about India batting? We started the day with one wicket down. We had 9 wickets up. So all the focus was on KL Rahul. And unfortunately, even Venkatesh Prasad is throwing so much dirt on him on social media. Even our WhatsApp group is full of drop KL Rahul hashtags. So why don't we talk about his form? And also, for some godforsaken reason, people are behind Pujara and boggles my mind. So talk to me about KL Rahul and Pujara.
Yeah, I don't know who these some people are who are behind Pujara, but he got out twice in like 2 overs space. One they didn't review, and one he got out. But to be fair, he's a phenomenal player of spin bowling. So if anything, he should be our best bet in these conditions. KL Rahul, yes, he's been struggling for a while, but once they decided to go ahead with him and not Gill, which to be fair, they've been consistent in that selection. Like even when Ishan Kishan got a double hundred, they did not pick Ishan Kishan for the next game because Gill was the original choice. And then Gill got that run, got so many hundreds, 200s. And that's why we are saying, oh, now Gill should be playing Test cricket. But KL Rahul has been the one who they've backed. He's the vice captain. So wasn't surprised that he got the first chance. I'm not too disappointed with, at least he's there. He's taking some deliveries off. We'd probably want him to score more runs, but hey, most people have struggled. It was only Rohit Sharma and then our lower order batters. Yes, Akshar Patel, Jadeja, Ashwin have been phenomenal. So yeah, KL Rahul, I think if he doesn't get much runs in the next game, then there's a very good case for Gill to come back. But Pujara didn't get any runs. Rohit got a decent delivery. I think Kohli looked very good, probably the best he's looked in Test cricket for a while. Then Kohli and Shreyas Iyer both unlucky or 50-50 decisions from Kohli's perspective. I think Australia was right in the game. They should have easily had at least 80 runs lead, and they would have probably been 200 runs ahead by now. So yeah, I think it's a lost opportunity for Australia, but they're still not out of it. They are well in the game.
And what about the lower order of India? Granted that Kohli almost was on the verge of century, he was unlucky dismissal, I would think so. Pujara and KL Rahul aside, how good are our all-rounders, and especially Axar Patel and Ravindra Jadeja? And on top of it, I'm just bringing in Adi forward short leg. He tweeted India all-rounder test since 2020. Jadeja 775 runs at an average of 40 with 41 wickets. R. Ashwin 712 runs with an average of 24, 98 wickets. Axar Patel 384, 32 average and 48 wickets. That's been the major difference. What do you think?
100%. If it weren't for these all rounders, I think we would be struggling in most games. I don't think we've ever had uh, three spinners who've been that effective with the bat in our history. We've always had spinners, very good spinners, but not someone like Ravindra Jadeja who can easily bat in number, top five, top six with his current form. Ashwin, he scored hundreds in very, very difficult situation. Ashwin continues to do well. He gets limited opportunities at home. Obviously, he's not the preferred choice away. And Akshar Patel, in the absence of Jadeja, obviously got that run and he got so many wickets. And he's now showing that he's as good as with the bat, as Jadeja maybe. But I mean, today's knock, I think this is as good as a hundred. So even last game he scored 80 odd. It's so good to have these players who can contribute with the bat, because for far too long we've had very good bowlers, but our lower order always struggles. So really happy, and we are lucky to be in this era where all our spinners are very good with the bat.
And also, there is one video going around. So, Purul Modi asked us how was Chole Bhature. So, I want to bring that up because Virat Kohli's brilliant reaction. Is that really Chole Bhature which he ordered?
So I won't be surprised, but he does have cheat days. But so let's see the context. I think so. Virat Kohli is given out by Nitin Menon. He immediately reviews. I think because he was given out, the umpire thought there's not enough evidence that the bat was first, and then he goes on and he gets really upset. Then I think that's what he's discussing with Rahul Dravid, and then he suddenly sees, okay, bloody hell, Choli Bature. And then when he's come back to field, he's having a word with Nitin Menon, having a smile as well. So definitely has to be something very good that's changed his mood. So quite funny. I thought it's sort of viral. Yes.
Yeah, which was awesome. Which was awesome to see. I mean, Kohli is a character, and we need such characters in the game. Uh, and then, from Axar Patel point of view, back-to-back half centuries, he deserved a Test century in both the innings. Even in the first game, he bailed India out. And you said in our water player group, this is a match-winning inning. So, how crucial is contribution of Axar?
Yeah, last game it was, yes, rubbing it in to the Australian side, because we were already in a very good position. Even 100 runs lead, we would have still won the game, even if we had to bat number 4 with 40-50 runs to chase. But this was pretty much the game on the line. Imagine if India getting out for 160, which easily could have happened. 100 runs lead, and Australia is laughing in this game. There's no way back for India unless there's some miraculous innings played by someone. So I think this will, if India has any chance in this game, they'll have to thank Akshar Patel. Looking at how Australia is playing, even 150, 170 would be difficult to chase, I would imagine. So yeah, Akshar Patel's innings is as good as a 150 on a very good pitch. And considering the situation, this is gold dust.
Absolutely, absolutely gold dust. And speaking of which, I think Australia are giving a good fight in the second Test match, especially after the kind of. And I've been here in Melbourne past 1 week, and the number of headlines I've seen where they're getting criticized and the local fans are so unhappy. I'm sure it will be pleasing to see for the local crowd to put up this kind of fight. It's unfortunate Smith and Labuschagne got out back to back, but with Khwaja in fantastic form now, Australia could have been easily 375 or so in the first innings if not for Smith and Labuschagne. And even in the second innings, unfortunately, Khwaja played a brain fade shot, but keeping that aside, Travis Head opening is a blessing in disguise, according to me, because he's one aggressive and two, he's had a fantastic Aussie summer. And Labuschagne, rarely you will see Smith and Labuschagne kind of a talent fail back to back. And we could see in that Jadeja over. So, what do you think of the scoring rate? Do you think that's the right way to do? Because looks like they're not trying to protect wickets, but trying to put up runs because they know it's going to get difficult batting last.
Yeah, plus I think most batters will now assume that there will be a ball which will have their number on it. Balls are keeping low, and it's difficult to just keep batting and batting and not try to score runs. So yes, Squajas, I think he forgot that there was a fielder right there, Shreyas Iyer having that very good catch. But he did try to score runs. And Travis said, as you mentioned, obviously Renshaw was the replacement. Renshaw's got 100 as well in India, opening I think in the last 2017 series or something. But they preferred Travis Head, which, as you mentioned, could be a great decision considering he's already 37 odd. And yes, pass ball for all you know, this very similar scoring rate. They were at 1.9 overs, 51 runs. So fascinating to see. And this is one of the best days Test cricket I've seen for a while. I've generally do not get to watch games, but I woke up quite early and there wasn't a passage of play where you would think, oh, you could go back to sleep. So absolutely fantastic for Test cricket, and this is what you want from fans' perspective. No one wants to see one-sided games. That's the last thing you want. You don't mind losing, irrespective of which country you support. But yeah, you love to see very very good Test match cricket, and I'm sure the crowd enjoyed it.
Purval Modi is in top form. I mean, he's been active, and we really appreciate that he's engaging. And let's also talk about Nathan Lyon. And if you can see Rick Ayer's tweet recently, he's every day putting on points in terms of who did well. Today, he gives Nathan Lyon 3 points, Axar Patel 2, and Virat Kohli 1. How good has been Nathan Lyon? And we've spoken about his contributions before the series of what impact will he have. And Vishak strongly felt that being a lone spinner, he might take heavy lifting, but for Australia, he's been fantastic and 5 4 in Indian conditions. Wickets like top order batsmen. So word on Nathan Lyon.
Yeah, I mean he's a modern day legend at par with, I would say, Ashwin, because he's got over 400. I know the Indians have got on top of him, especially Pant in that down under series, but he generally does really well against India and on these low, slow turning wickets where he's had a lot of experience. I'm sure his performance would be very pleasing, and it augurs well for Australia for the rest of the series because now he's got 5 wickets. He'd be anything over 200. I think he'll be. The team would be looking up to him to try and win them the game. The new left armer, I can't pronounce his name, but he was accurate as well. I thought Murphy didn't get too much bowling this time around. He came into the attack quite late, but wasn't as effective maybe as he was in the Nagpur game. And Australia have only got one fast bowler in Pat Cummins. That's where we are so lucky that we got three batters who are very, very good and they can contribute in number 5, 6, 7 easily. And we don't have to worry about playing an extra bat. Whereas Australia, because they haven't got an all rounder effectively, they are struggling with having more bowling options. I'm sure they would love to have another bowler, which might happen in Cameron Green in the rest of the series, or Stark might come back. But given all the resources they have, I think this is fascinatingly poised for Sunday.
Matthew Kuhneman. That's how you say it. At least that's how I know. But yeah, it's been intriguing days of play. It's proper Test cricket, and tomorrow will be huge first session. If Australia can get through the first session with maybe two more down and get to like 150, I think they have an upper hand. Anything over 250, 275 is what I'm thinking will be competitive. Purul Modi asks you, how much should Australia score to win the test match, Sanjay?
Considering the pace they are going at, I think they'll try to continue the tempo. So if they bat 2 sessions, I think it's Australia's game to lose. I mean, obviously, if they lose heaps of wickets, this could easily end up being like 150 all out. We see last game they got lost 10 wickets in one inning, so it's fresh day, fresh start. But I'm backing Australia to at least get to 250 because I mean, first innings have there's 1 run lead, so 250 would be a great challenge for India, and be interesting to see what happens from a series perspective. I think 1 all would be great to go to Indore, but yeah, this is greatly poised for a comeback from Australia.
So there you go, Purul Modi. 250 plus seems like a score which will give Australia a fighting chance. And Siddharth Sharma makes a fantastic point, and it has been in the headline here in the Melbourne newspapers too that Aston Agar should have got a call in, and especially Australia's selection in the first innings, first Test match also was questioned with Travis Head not being there. So, what do you think of dropping Agar for Kuhneman?
I think I heard that Ega said that I'm not bowling well, so maybe pick someone else. This is what I've heard. So they had to flew in Kunaman from whatever he was doing, and he straight away gets to play. It's great for him. He looks. I'm not sure whether Ashton Ega would have been more effective. He's not bowling that well in the in the nets, but they dearly missed a left armer or someone who can take the ball away in the first test match. So that's cost them a lot. So that's why they wanted a left armer. I'm surprised as well, just like the selection of non-selection of Travis Head in the first inning. So yeah, this is more like the Indian selection we had, for a couple of years, chopping and changing too much. But yeah, I think if Australia wins this one, then I think yeah they'll continue with him. I'm sure.
There you go. Fantastic day too. And before we drop, Sanjay, there is another important game coming up. This time on the women's cricket circuit. T20 World Cup is in progress. India is going to take on England tonight, I think in an hour's time or so. And that's going to decide the group toppers. Why that is consequential is whoever tops the group avoids playing Australia in the semi final. And whoever does not top the group, or whoever tops the group, will also look at probably meeting Australia in the final. So, word on Women's World Cup going on T20?
Whichever team plays Australia, it'd be a fascinating semi-final, whether it's England or India. But yeah, with the WPL, with all the numbers, and it's everything's looking upwards for women's cricket, and I hope that they can continue with the spree of ICC tournaments. We got the Under-19 World Cup. Let's win this one as well. So even if the boys can't do it, at least the women's can bring in some glory for the country. So let's continue with that. But yeah, it should be a good contest.
Yep. And there's another test match going on. Purwal Modi insists that we talk about it. England, New Zealand, which is again nicely poised with England on the upper hand, day three. New Zealand need 331 runs, and England need 5 wickets to win. And form continues of being on top of their game. They declared on day one with a wicket to spare. So they continue the momentum which they built up last year, Sanjay. So any word on England New Zealand series?
I think England are rewriting how to play Test cricket. I can't remember the last time a team batting first on day one under 60 was not getting out and just declaring. Obviously, they wanted to make use of the underlights condition and paid them really well. They got 3 wickets and then great fight back by lower order at day two. Blundell getting that 100, and they there was 20 runs lead for England. But England second innings again they continued with this bass ball, whatever you want to call, almost like 5 runs and over. No one's got 100, but you got 50s by Root, Harry Brook, Folks, and then good contribution from Stokes and Robinson. And I think this is beyond the New Zealand, and England should wrap this up for a session tomorrow morning.
Excellent, excellent. It has been good getting back on the pod after a long while, and especially speaking of a close test match. It always pleases us having close test match. We've never been suckers of one-sided games, no matter how much we support our own teams, Sanjay. So looking forward to
Absolutely.
it. Again, a lot of cricket continues to happen. I know we didn't do our Water Weekly the previous episode, but do you think mid next week we can pull something for our viewers?
Yes, I think the end of this test match, and when you're back to states in a more uh, uh, reasonable time zone from UK perspective, I think we can both at least get on and do something on midweek next week.
Absolutely. Excellent. So, folks who have engaged, Purul Modi, Siddharth Sharma, really appreciate it. It encourages us to continue to bring you content. And folks who are returning, do press that like button. Folks who are watching us for the first time, do follow us on all social media. We promise that we will bring you the content which is going to be unique. And Sanjay, thanks for making time. Hopefully, you enjoy your rest of your Saturday. And tomorrow is going to be a fantastic cricket day. Hopefully, we will bring you the end of play session tomorrow as well. Thanks for watching and see you
Absolutely.
later.
I'm going back to my chole bhature now. Bye bye.
All right, take it easy. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.